Hello everyone, this is Joe the Orange, and today I'm playing Ambiorix with 3 archers, and as you can probably tell, I've got a new microphone. It's not the best one in the world, it's kind of shit, so I'm thinking about buying another one. But we're just going to have to make do with what we've got. Now let's start talking about the new commander. Of course, he's only really good at archers, so you're stuck with that unit for the most part. But I've got to say, when it comes to using the archers, at least he's good at it. He's a viable commander. His first 2 abilities, such as the knockdown one and the reload time, movement speed buff, the bloody awesome one, they're good abilities. I have not found a use for his third ability though. I don't know how the fuck, I'm trying to use it here, just not doing very much at all. Mainly because most of the Barbarian archers have such a short range anyway, you hardly even notice another 20%. When you do get the tier 8 archers that have 110 range, you probably notice the difference, but with these short range archers, yeah, you just end up shooting the fuck out of your allies. Not very good, so I turn it off for the rest of the match. Every game I keep trying to use it, and every game it keeps being a piece of shit. So I try not to use it anymore, and once I stopped using it, he's a great commander. The first 2 abilities are enough to make him viable. The third ability, I don't know, there must be some fucking use out there. Surely someone's had some fun with that ability. One other thing you might struggle with the Barbarian archers is very hard to defend yourself. Luckily with the new commander you do have a knockdown ability which will buy you some time, but eventually you're going to get caught. So it's always good to have a lot of protection on your team. As you can see, I'm surrounded by infantry that can protect me. And since they're protecting me, I have to return the favour by killing the javelins that do a lot of damage to pretty much everyone. So I'll start off by nuking them, and then I'll move on to the slingers and the archers. And that's one thing to remember. There's a bunch of shit I can shoot in the background here. A lot of range units I can kill. Also, by killing the javelins, they can't get their debuffs down or their buffs as easily without taking massive casualties like they did. You'll notice that the enemy slingers have been shooting infantry, cav, etc. this whole game instead of taking out the real threat. Or should I say threats, they should be aiming at me or the javelins, something useful, but they are shooting at basically shit that they don't have to worry about. And that puts their team at such a massive disadvantage, it's like they have no ranged units at all. And you see it all the time, 24/7, ranged units are just shooting infantry. For some reason they think that's the biggest threat to them, when honestly they should just be taking out archers, javelins, scorpions, catapults, etc. After they're dead, you can change targets and shoot whatever you want. There's no more threat to your team, at least a ranged threat to your team anymore, so you can easily start taking out their barbarians, etc. The other thing to keep in mind, if the enemy has no ranged units left and all they have is infantry, there's nothing that can really kill you, so you're doing yourself a favour as well. Well, the cav can kill you, but, you know, fucking whatever. Now that I've dealt with those slingers and there's just a horde of barbarians over here, I'm just going to unleash on them. The poor barbs have basically no defense abilities, you just smash them in the face. If you're protected by some melee units, you're going to win every single time. Now this is the weirdest shit ever, so there's that infantry unit there. I think I'm going to go hide behind him and then shoot into the barbarians, but he just fucks off, he's just gone. At this stage, I'm thinking all our ranged units are dead, those Falksmen are coming in and killing us all, and then he goes, nope, I'm chasing that one infantry unit. Man, the luck, the amount of luck, but then the cavalry arrives, and this is something I do think is a bit shit in the game. I'm going onto the cliff edge, that way he can't kill me too much. It provides me protection from their charges. Not only that, I can shoot in combat, especially when I am using that first ability that Ambiorix does get. You can use it in combat, and that's what I'm just doing here. So even though the cav got to me, it doesn't really matter. I'm not sure how they could fix this problem. The only thing I can think of is giving the cav some sort of plus 100 melee attack or some shit when they are versing archers, because they just take so long to kill them without getting a charge off. And honestly, they're not doing that much damage. As you can see, that unit that is attacking my archers over there is dying quicker than my archers are. I do have a tier above him. I am tier 6, he is tier 5, but at the same time, he's meant to be my counter. He managed to get into melee combat, it doesn't even matter. The same thing happens a lot when the javelins get into melee combat with the cav. they can just shoot the fuck out of them. But let's move on to talking about Ambiorix. Yeah, he's a great commander. He has 2 focus fire abilities, pretty much. One of them even has a knockdown ability, which comes in handy 24/7. It's just awesome. The second ability gives him reload time, movement bonuses, bloody everything that you want. It's basically Archer's wet dream. It's got everything you need. But then you have the third ability, and that's where he falls behind a bit. And this is why I think Kanani at tier 9 and 10 will be better than Ambiorix, because at those tiers, Barrage gets very powerful. As far as tier 1 to tier 8, I prefer Ambiorix, but at the same time, if I'm solo queuing and I need some protection, I'll probably go Kanani, because then I can bring pikes or spears, preferably pikes. And Kanani can actually use that unit and do well with it. When it comes to Ambiorix, there's nothing he can really do. If you chuck an infantry unit in there, that infantry unit is going to suck. Basically, with this commander, you rely on your team to defend you, and that's about it. As you can see, my little units are getting chased by their little units. We both have pretty much no health left. The good thing is I can just turn around, shoot him, kite him to death. He can't do much about it. Especially with that knockdown ability that I have on my commander. I am getting attacked by the War Dogs, but they're not doing that much damage. There's not many left of them. It doesn't... yeah. We've won the game. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and thumbs up and all that shit. And I'll see you next time.